This was my desk. This is my desk now. Let me show you how I made it. But first, let's roll on some beauty shots. My entry into the Rockler Desk Challenge. I've been working from home for the last couple months and I've been none too pleased with my desk situation. With being home and the sorry state of my office, it's made me realize some things about environment and concentration. So I'm going to get my act together. I'm going to repurpose this dining table that I was using as a temporary desk to build off of to make more purposeful and curated to the environment. I'm basically making two table legs, but one has a tabletop extension and a cubby for my PC. Let's start with the simpler of the two. I didn't really film the making of the structure of this leg, hence the showing of the CAD. To me, the more interesting bit is how it's finished off.
There's a world inside my head. I get lost in it from time to time. No one has a spare key, the only one is inside of me. Go, I don't really dare to escape. Fall out in another space, so I stay. Hey, oh here we go. It's overflow. I don't really know what's on, 'cause I'm a restless soul. Oh here we go.
I know this is not the way you're supposed to actually make carbon fiber parts. I do have a vacuum bag set up, but full disclosure, this is just a prototype leg. I want to make a much thinner leg using a proper vacuum bag setup, but that's probably going to be a whole video in itself. As of now, you could hit this thing with a mortar round and it'll still probably be fine. Doing it like this, there's also so much more sanding. It's brutal. Shout out to Ben Ueda for recommending this tool on his podcast. This thing does the trick. Always mask up when you're cutting carbon. God only knows what kind of evil this stuff will do to your lungs if you breathe it in. All I know is vitamins won't fix it. After several coats of epoxy to even things out, you guessed it, I gotta sand some more. Here's one of these things that you procrastinate to do because you're scared. I had this table leg finished for a week before I got up the nerve to cut this angle in it. It wasn't anything hard or complicated. I just didn't want to screw it up because I'd have to do the sanding again. I snuck up to the cut, banged it out. I don't even know what I was worried for. Recess some mounting holes. Let's finish this thing. Because I use offcuts from our wood floor to make the table legs, I thought Rubio would be a great finish. It would also give me a second look at the intense black pre-color if we actually use that for our floors. We're cowards. We should have used it. A quick test fit, and let's move on to the next one. I had a couple goals to accomplish with the other leg. Get my PC out of the way, extend the tabletop, and make it sick looking. I wanted to place the PC at an angle so I could reach into the guts at a sitting position. Plus I like jaunty angles. Jaunty angles are cool. I went with a satin black and brass finish because it kind of reminds me of a deviant Roman emperor kind of vibe. I've always had a thing for carbon fiber. Since I was a wee lad, I've just been an absolute nerd for it. Now I know it's become kind of cheesy rich guy chic, but clear carbon with a matte finish, I'm buying it every time. I always thought it was so interesting that you could take a roll of fabric and pop it in a mold and come out with something like this, or this, or even this. And those are my design and material choices. Cheesy, debaucherous, Roman rich guy chic. For this build, I basically took all my CAD parts and laid them out on 2 sheets of 4x8 plywood and cut all the corner and hole shapes with my shaper origin. I then went back with a track saw and cut out all the parts. It's a pretty good workflow, and Shaper kind of recommends this for larger pieces. All my pilot holes were drilled out with the origin from the CAD files, so it was a nice tidy operation to just go back and countersink them with the hand drill. Also drilled out holes for alignment pins with the origin to help with glue up. There was liberal use of guide pins, because the glue up is a strange black art that I have yet to conquer. This is the bracket that holds up the existing table, so the alignment of this is pretty key, so I don't get lippage. I used some leftover Blum hardware I had from my kitchen remodel to make the drawer slide for the PC. I probably should have sprung for something a little bit more robust, but I always get a tickle out of using leftover stuff. I got a tasty little treat in the mail halfway through the build. It really kicked up my productivity. I mean, if you ask me, this thing shouldn't be sold separately from the Shaper.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta
sacrifice.
It's just about time to start making this thing sexy. I landed on General Finish's Black Poly as my main finish. It's recommended only to be sprayed, so I was pretty lucky. The weather was good. It went on pretty easy. 2 coats, light sanding in between. After I finished spraying the cabinet section, I moved on to the tabletop. I had to laminate a couple thicknesses of plywood together because I didn't have the species of hardwood I wanted to make a hardwood tabletop. Once things open up, I'll probably go back to this and make it in hardwood. This will keep stuff off the ground for now. Stuff like this is really where the Origin earns its dinner. I had to cut a hole in the desktop to drop in a little AV unit I got. My chisels are stupid dull, but I got there eventually. And Bob's your uncle. Well, that's how it came together. I got a couple more upgrades planned for the future, but for now, I think this will work. Thanks for watching. Keep it frosty.